This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, let me switch to your workspace. Switch workspace. Kusum. Just a second.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yesterday, we have seen about the for loop, while loop, do while with break and continue statements. Let us talk about arrays concept. See, what is array? What is array? To store a single value, we are using variable. Let's say x is equal to 10. 10 is of integer type, and whereas x is the variable name and int is the data type. So to store a single value, we are using variable. If you want to store 100 values, I need to create 100 variables. Creating 100 variables is very, very difficult. That is one thing. And the program readability will be damaged. So, and maintenance is also very, very difficult. So we should not create, if you are using 100 variables, 100 values for 100 variables. Let's tomorrow, if I want to use 1000 values, so I should not create 1000 variables. Then how? That's why we are using arrays concept. So what is meant by array? It's a collection of the values of similar data type. Collection of values of similar data type. So that is called array. Collection of values of similar data type. That is called array. So how to write the syntax? Data type, square bracket, some variable name is equal to a new the data type, then open bracket and close bracket. So this is the way you need to create an array concept. Let's say if I want to store 100 values, of integer type, so you are writing like this: int array square bracket is equal to new int of 100. Right. See, we are using new keyword to create an array. We are using new keyword to create an array. Okay. So what is the array name? Array name is X. Here in this syntax, array name is X. And what is the size of the array? Size of the array or length of the array. Length of the array is 100. See how it is stored the values in the array. They are going to store the values in the array in the continuously. In the memory location, they are going to store the values in the continuous manner. Okay, so let me draw the diagram. So this is array. The array name is A, because what is the syntax we created? Int A is equal to new int of 100. Right. Like this, for each and every value, it will be stored like this. Okay. Now how they are represented internally. So this is 0. In the array, the values are going to store based on the index. Based on the index. So like this is 99. 99. So 0 to 99 means totally it is 100 values. Okay. So let's say inside the 0th position, if it is stored 10, 20, 30, let's say it's stored some 1000. In the 99th location, if it is stored 1000. So how you are going to retrieve the values? In the array, you are going to work with index. You are going to access the elements based on the index concept. Elements are accessing with index. Elements are accessing with index. Okay. Index always starts with 0. Index always starts with 0. The maximum value in the array is size minus 1, because 0 to 99 means 100 minus 1. Okay, so that you can access it using the size minus 1, because index starts with 0. The maximum value in the array is that the index, I mean the size minus 1. Okay. Let's say if I want to access the first value in the array, how will you access it? Array name, square bracket, inside you need to provide the size. We need to provide the array size, a of 0. A of 0. This is the first value. Let's say if I want to retrieve fifth value, a of 4. If I want to retrieve last value in the array, a of 99. So in this case, in this example, so based on the index, you are going to retrieve it. So if it is 1 or 2, that is okay. But every time I cannot write each and every statement like this. If there are 100 values, I cannot print like 100 system.out.println statements. So what we need to do, we are going to use loop concept. Okay? Because there we are specifying like for I is equal to 0, I is less than 100, and I plus plus. And inside system.a(i), like that you are using it. Otherwise, system.out.println, you have to use it 100 times. So that is not way of implementing the program. So let's see with practically. Creating array. So I'm going to store integer type. So that's why I'm using integer array. Right. So a of 0. That means in the array, the first value I stored is 10. A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4, A of 9. Let's say print A of 10. This is 20, 30, 40, 50, 100. Let's say 110. I stored like this. In between A of 5, A of 6, A of 7, A of 8, all these things values I did not store. If I did not store, what will happen? Okay. So if I want to access the value in the array, first value in the array, af0, because the index starts with 0. The last value in the array is af9. Now see, if you want to get the length or size of the array, how to get it? Array size or length. Array name. What is array name? A dot. There is a variable called length. There is a variable called length. A dot length. So here the size you will get 10. So A of 0 you will get 10. A of 9 you will get 100. Okay, so let us print it. Run as Java application. Now here Java dot lang dot array index out of bound exception 10. Why? Line number 14 here. A of 10 is not allowed. Why? Because you specified the length of the, that means the size of the array is 10. But always index starts with 0. A of 10 means you are storing 11th value, but the array size is only 10. So that's why you are getting array index out of bound exception. That's why you are getting array index out of bound exception. That means you are trying to store more than capacity. So this is not allowed. See, here you are not getting any compilation issue. But during running the program, you are getting the exception. So during running the program, whatever you are getting the exception, that is called unchecked exception. Okay. But anyway, we will discuss it, those things and all in the exception handling concept. You have seen when you are writing thread.sleep statement, at that time, immediately it is giving the compilation issue. Like unhandled exception might be interrupted exception, like that you may. So that kind of exception is called checked exception. So during running the program, whatever you are getting the exceptions are called unchecked exceptions. For the Selenium point of view, whatever you are getting the exceptions like element not interactable exception, illegal path exception, no such element exceptions, all these exceptions are unchecked exceptions. At the time of writing, if you are sending the notification, you may get the exception. So such kind of exceptions are called checked exceptions. Okay. Now this is not allowed. Right click, run as Java application. Now say array size is 10, the first value, the last value is 100. Okay. See, if array is containing 1000 values, if I want to retrieve all the values one by one, so I cannot use this system.out.println 1000 times. So what we will do is we are going to use loop concept. Okay. So first I'll try to use normal for loop using normal for loop. we are retrieving the values. For first int I is equal to 0, because my index starts with 0, and then I less than condition. So condition means here what is the maximum value? 10. Okay, so here I don't want to hard code, so instead of that what I'll do, I'll use this way, a dot length. So instead of hard coding, so directly you are getting the size by a dot length, and then I plus plus, I plus plus. So you are incrementing it, right? So what I will do is, instead of using println, I'll use print, and I'm printing a of I. A of I. First, it starts with 0, a of 0. The second one, a of 1, a of 2, like this till a of 9. You will print it. It will print. Okay. So now, using normal for loop, we are printing all the values. Now see, a of 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then a of 5, a of 6, a of 7, a of 8. All these values we did not store. If we did not store, what will happen? Internally, it will store the default value. The default value of what? The default value of data type. It will store. The default value of integer, it will store. So the default value of integer is 0. So that's why these 4 values are storing as 0. And the last one is a of 9. A of 9. Suppose if you are specifying I of I less than equal to a dot length, if you are using like this, what will happen? A of 9 you will get 100, and a of 10 again you will get array index out of bound exception. Like that you will get the message. Like that you will get the array message. Okay. Since the index starts with always 0, it's not only for Java. If you take any programming language, wherever you are using the index concept, that index always starts with 0. So 0 is less than a dot length. You have to use it. Not I is less than or equal to. You should not use less than or equal to, because it is going to take a of 10 also. A of 10 you don't have. That means you are trying to retrieve 11th value. So that's why you are getting array index out of bound exception. So this is normal for loop, because initialization, condition, increment or decrement, everything you are mentioning in the single for loop itself. Okay. Now what we will do is, we will use another loop. So that is a special kind of loop. That special kind of loop, that is for each loop. That for each loop we are applying for two concepts. That for each loop is applicable. It is applicable for arrays, it is applicable for arrays, and there is a concept called collections in Java. There is a concept there is a concept called collections in Java. See, in the WebDriver point of view, in the WebDriver, under collections, there are so many things are there, but under collections, it is a supporting two concepts. One is list concept and the second one is set concept. Under collections, it is a supporting list and set. Which one? The WebDriver, that Selenium. Okay, so wherever we are using either arrays or these collections. Collections means either list or set. Wherever we are using, we are going to use this for each loop. Okay. So how to use this for each loop? Simple syntax. For and the data type, some variable name, colon, and then arrays name or collections name. Arrays or collections. Arrays or collections. That's it. So here the variable, whatever the variable we are using, the type is what type, the data type, whatever you are specifying it. So it is belong to that data type. So using this variable, we are trying to access the variables. Sorry, we are trying to access the values. So that means here we don't have any initialization, we don't have any condition, we don't have either increment or decrement. Internally, each and everything it is going to take in care this for each loop. So we are going to access the value internally. We are going to access the values by using this variable. No need of initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Everything it is going to take in care internally. It's a very, very simple syntax. So let us see. Using for each loop. So how to use it? For each. So here we are working with the data type. Data type is what type? It is integer. Let's say I'm using variable name is x, and here we are working with array. Array name is what? A. Simple. And then print. Just print. So we are going to access the values by using this variable. That's it. Internally, which value it has to start, and what is the maximum value, and how to increment. All these things and all internally it is taken care by this for each loop. So we need not to mention like initialization, condition, increment or decrement, all these things. Run as Java application. The same concept. Yeah. Any doubts?
No.
No.
Right. So let us discuss about another simple concept. So how you can compare two strings. There is another class, string comparisons. String comparison. Let's say string x is equal to hello. This is my first string. String y is equal to hello. This is my second string. See, I want to compare two strings equal or not. I want to compare two strings equal or not. See, when I say two strings equal or not means whether these two contents are equal or not. So that is what we are comparing it. In Selenium point of view, we are comparing two strings like this. That means first string x is equal to hello and y is equal to hello. So these two are equal or not. So that is what we are checking it. So how to compare it? If the first string x, if first string x dot second string, if x dot, there is a method called equal. There is method called equals. There is method called equals. So what is the first string? First string is x and the second string is y. So if you want to compare two strings with the content, first string dot equals the second string. So here x and y are equal. Else are not equal. X and y are equal. The second one is x and y are not equal. X and y are not equal. Now see, the output would be here x and y are not equal. This hello and this hello are not equal. Like that it will print. Right click, run as Java application. Hello and hello are not equal. So when you want to compare two strings with the content, so we are going to use equals method. Okay. Now what we will do is we will forget about like the upper cases and lower cases. So if you want to ignore the cases, So here there is a method called equals ignore cases. If you want to ignore the cases, if you want to ignore the cases, ignoring cases. So now in this case, what will happen? You will get x and y are equal because this is hello and this is hello. But content is same, but here in the above case it starts with capital letter and here it starts with small letter. So that's why when you are using equals, so this one and this one both are not equal. So that's why you are getting the second statement. Now here we are ignoring the cases. So that's why we are using equals ignore cases. Now you will get the output is x and y are equal. X and y are equal. Okay. So in Selenium point of view, we are going to compare the two strings with the content wise. So that's why we are using equals method. Sometimes we are ignoring the cases. At the time we are using equals ignore cases. Okay. Yeah. Understood the concept?
Yeah.
Okay. Others? Right. Now the requirement is, so in this web page there are so many links are there. That means there are so many elements are there. So now here I am working with links concept. So that's why my element is of type link. Okay. So what is my requirement is, how many number of links are there in this page? See, how will you tell that whether it is a link or not? Now see, right click and inspect. Right click and inspect. Now see, this is A. Right click and inspect A. See, for each and every link, for each and every link, for each and every link, the tag name is A. The remaining attributes are going to vary. Similarly, if you take advertising, the tag name is A, but remaining things and all is going to different. Business, again it's A, but remaining things and all is different. So according to my scenario, when I want to find out number of elements, that means number of links in this case. For all the links, what is the common property? Tag name. So here, based on the tag name, we are going to find out the number of elements. Find elements, what it returns programmatically? It returns list of web element programmatically. So the list is coming under Java util package. Of course, The list is implemented by other package as well, but for our Selenium point of view, we have to use java.util package. Java.util package. So that we should use it. So once you get the list, under list, if you want to find out the number of elements inside the list, then you have to use a method called size. Now see, if you want to find out the length of the array, what will be used? Array name dot length. So that is what we used. But here the list is coming under collection concept. So what we need to do, we need to use size method. There is a method called a size. So using that size, we are getting the number of elements. So once you get the number of elements, then you can retrieve one by one based on the for each loop. So here we are going to use very frequently for each loop. Okay. So do one thing. So take it as exercise. We will do it on the Monday. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts?
No. So we will be having classes on Sunday, and there is no class for Sunday.
Madam, Sundays. No, there is no class. Actually, here it would be your Monday to Friday.
Okay.
So who is that? Who is asking?
Srividya,
Srividya, where are you from basically?
UK.
Okay. So here